Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just on my way out to the shop to attempt to do my kingpin. So I watched some videos yesterday. I'll do a video on it today. But anyways, so here I'll give you guys. I was actually very well. I don't know if I was very surprised, but I was surprised. So the Statue of Liberty, a lot of people, and I was actually under the from the things I've heard over the course of time in history.
New text message
We were
from
told
Jessica.
that today's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Jessica. Today is June 10th, 2021. Over all these years, I thought that the French gave us the Statue of Liberty, but it's not true. So I watched a documentary a couple days ago, and there was a guy named Auguste Bartholdi, a Frenchman, that initially it wasn't going to be in New York City, and it wasn't going to look like the Statue of Liberty. It was supposed to be a Muslim woman in a veil or whatever it's called, whatever they wear over their faces, and it was supposed to be. It was inspired by when he went to Egypt, but the king of Egypt said, "No, that won't happen." So then he pursued the United States. It was actually a really good documentary on the Statue of Liberty. But so Bartholdi started fundraising for this statue, this Lady Liberty, and I think the numbers were somewhere in the area of like $16 million back in 1865 is when it was completed, I believe, or 1865 it started. If you guys really want to know the ins and outs, I mean, it was a really, really good, a great documentary on HBO. And I'm doing the video because there was a clip from the Trump administration on a reporter. So anyways, so the French did not give us the Statue of Liberty. They actually, this Bartholdi, Auguste, I think it was, he actually raised the money through fundraising and donations and selling stuff, and the guy was extremely talented. And then Eiffel, from the Eiffel Tower, he's actually the one that Bartholdi had contracted to do the actual frame, and Eiffel was not happy with it because his structure was going to be covered, and he was pretty arrogant that way, I guess. But anyways, and then also the Statue of Liberty is only 2 pennies thick, they said. That was, I mean, because during Hurricane Sandy, it withstood, the Lady Liberty, Statue of Liberty, withstood 150 mile an hour winds. That was like, wow, it was a super, super cool documentary. And then the Americans actually couldn't even get the money for the base. They needed $100,000 to do the base. And the Americans couldn't even raise the money. So Bartholdi approached Pulitzer, and I wonder if it's the same Pulitzer from the Pulitzer Surprise or the Pulitzer Prize or whatever. Pulitzer Surprise. So the Pulitzer Prize, surprise. So I'm driving. I'm not thinking. But anyways, so in the documentary during the Trump era, our administration, they had a reporter that tried to use the poem. I don't know if they've already finished the museum on the Statue of Liberty. Also, a lot of people don't know the torch was actually changed. The original torch is now in the museum. They changed the original torch in 84, I think it was. They said it was 100. Oh, so maybe they started the statue in 1865 and finished it like 20 years later or something like that, because they said when they pulled the torch it was 100 years old. So maybe they started in 65 and ended in 85. Anyways, but this reporter tried using the words of the poem for the Statue of Liberty. It's like, give me your tired and your poor and your huddled masses to breathe free, or something like that, is what the reporter tried using when Trump had did the whole immigration ban or whatever. And when Sarah and I were watching it, hi baby girl, I love you. Hi to Janine and Josh and Mike and Pastor Rick and Stevie K and Jason Gilbert, Tim Unroll, unknown user, Chi-Town, all you guys. Thanks for always watching and listening and subscribing, of course. And Josh, I'm sorry I haven't talked to you lately. And congratulations to Mike and his wife Mary. Their adoption was finalized with their son, James, I think it is. Anyways, congratulations, guys. I know they're pretty stoked about that. But Hurricane Mike. So this reporter tries using the poem to kind of shame the Trump administration. Like, how dare you? They got Highway 50 all tore up, man. It is just a 50 is just really bad. But anyways, so when we're watching, after they showed the clip of this reporter trying to use those words against the Trump administration, like, how dare you close the borders, and anyways,
New text message from Dan Medspeed.
I did go to the dentist for my tooth. Has to be pulled. It's not good. And I'm going to get bottom braces because I've never been happy with this crooked tooth up front. So I'll be brace face for a while. And you're going to push it together. So, because I'm not walking around with a missing tooth. I'm not walking around with a missing tooth. Anyways, totally not relevant to the video. But, so I paused the documentary, and I told Sarah, I'm like, how dare they use those words against the Trump administration? And here's a fun fact for you. So you got Kamala Harris now down in Mexico, but she was in Guatemala, and she was on television telling, they obviously recorded it and said, do not come to America. We will not let you in. Stay where you are. Wasn't this new administration, weren't they the ones that were, part of their deal or part of their campaign was, we're going to open borders and blah, blah, blah. And now it just shows you how, and I'm ecstatic about it. So I'm okay with that. So, but it just shows you how hypocritical they are, right? How they lie. Anyways, back to what I was telling my wife. So I paused it, and I'm like, isn't that crazy that they would try to use that against the Trump administration? Because it was different. It was a different time back then, right? They weren't a burden on society. And I'm not saying like welfare people are a burden on society, because if you truly need welfare, if you're elderly and and I know my mom watches my videos and she's not happy with the words I said to her, but my mom is different than she used to be. But anyways, all that aside, you have this older generation that people just turn their backs on the ones that actually want to continue to work and not just sit there and feel sorry for themselves. So if you have people on welfare, I don't consider, if you receive it and you truly, truly need it, like you cannot work and whatever the case is, okay, I'm so okay with that. But the ones that are getting welfare that don't need it or don't deserve it, those are the ones I'm speaking of. Like there was a thing on 60 Minutes a while back, about a year or two ago, maybe about probably 2 or 3 years ago. They had a thing on 60 Minutes about illegal aliens coming to America, and they were interviewing this guy. They had his face blurred out because I'm sure if people knew who he was, they'd probably go and beat the dog shit out of him. So he was talking about where they live in this trailer park community, that they actually take their children and they share their well, not like in that way, but they let other people claim their children. So they not only do they claim their children for tax monies, a refund of thousands upon thousands of dollars. According to this guy, it was between $9,000 and $15,000 they get every year for tax returns. And so they all claim, these kids of 9 or 10 kids or something, it was a crazy amount of kids, and each family claims the same kids. And we're paying for that. Our money again. Your money, my money. We're paying for that. So anyways, so you come to this country and you are a burden on society, and you're a burden on the system, but they come here for that reason. Like my brother Jose, hey brother, and I didn't mention Jose in the video, I'm sorry, and Mike O'Hara. Anyways, Jose, I love you, man. He stood up at our wedding. He's truly like my brother from another mother, truly. And he came over from Mexico illegally. Actually went back, I believe, and came back again. And him and his wife were buying a house. He became legal. His wife, Maria, is legal. And he's got his own little construction gig going on. And I'm so proud of the guy. I remember when he first got and he went through the system. He hired an attorney. He worked hard. He hired an attorney. He always paid his taxes. I know this because he was asking me tax questions. What do I got to do about this? And this was before he was actually legal. So, and yeah, he worked for cash. I hired him and a bunch of other guys when I was a general contractor. Shame on me, but I didn't pay him dirt cheap wages. I paid him actual what they were worth wages. And those guys are pretty much all legal now. So minus, I think, 1 or 2. The thing is am I ashamed? Yeah, a part of me is, because I'm bitching about the same thing but however, they weren't on welfare. Yeah, they had kids, and I'm sure our tax money's probably paid for that. I'll almost guarantee it. So shame on me. Once again, I'm a hypocrite. But I was on the side of pushing those guys, like, hey, listen, man, you got to become legal. You got to do this. You got to do that. I'm not saying that they became legal because I was pushing them. That's not. They did it because they needed to do it, and they wanted to stop looking over their shoulder. So the point being is, Jose hired his own attorney. He didn't have a shit ton of kids and sat there on welfare and got an EBT card, those food cards or whatever the case is. He worked every single day and saved his money, him and his wife. She became legal first. He became legal. I remember the day he called me and he sent me a picture. He's like, I now have my residency now and my green card or whatever the case. He was so proud, so happy. And now they're buying a really, really nice, expensive house, him and his wife. And congratulations to that. But I've done nothing but sit there on his side and say, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Jose. So I understand. So the thing is, back to this reporter quoting the Statue of Liberty poem, or a part of it, the most important part, right? Give me your tired, your poor, and your huddled masses to breathe freedom. I think that's it. And so when I told Sarah, I'm like, but that was a different time. We open the doors now, and it's costing us taxpayers billions of dollars, billions with a B. Back then, they were opening the door for immigrants to come in to help build this country. And they didn't think that America was going to last because of all the stuff they were doing and allowing these immigrants to come in. And America's a huge melting pot of all different cultures and ethnicities and stuff like that. So I love it. But so the point being is you can't quote a poem or part of a poem and try to blame an administration for, oh, how dare you, be a hypocrite, and that's exactly what our Statue of Liberty says, and blah, 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 or the meaning of it, or the reason for it, or, the symbolism of it. Come on, man. I mean, it was a different time back then. Now, like I said, if you're on welfare and you truly deserve it, I'll shut my mouth. But there are a shit ton of people, and I don't know for a fact, right? That's just what I read in papers and everything else, like seeing the 60 minutes thing with this guy saying that all these people in this trailer park community, all, aliens or whatever, that they use these kids for huge tax advantages. That's wrong. That's not what the Statue of Liberty meant. She didn't say, give me your needy. She didn't say, give me your non-workers or your bums. She didn't say, give me your lazy or your inept. She didn't say, give me your greedy or your hypocrites or what. She didn't say that. That's nowhere on the Statue of Liberty, right? And that's exactly what opening our doors is doing. It's a lot, and not everybody, obviously, not everybody. People come here for the American dream, and when I drive through El Paso or parts of, Texas, or especially El Paso, because you can literally see into Mexico. And at night you can see, in Mexico, you can see their lights on over there. And they can see into America. How horribly sad would that be to be Mexican and be over in Mexico and seeing into the United States day after day after day after day after day? How in your face would that be? And so sad that where you currently live is poverty stricken and drug cartels and this and that, and you're not, you can see, like, they're not all of them obviously, but like literal metal huts, man, where they probably have dirt floors and shit, like a third world country, man. How sad is that you might have family that live in America, whether they're here legally or illegally, that they've made it, and maybe the people that are looking in here have tried, 10 times or just one time or who knows how many times, and have gotten caught and had to be brought back. That, that they literally wake up and they crave and they want and they need and they dream the freedom that we currently have. And we take it for granted that we are this is the best country in the world to live, man. Think about it. I mean, yeah, and people talk shit. I know I talk shit about our government or whatever, and I can leave. I can literally, if I'm not happy, I can leave. I'm just saying that they lie to us or whatever the case is. I'm not saying that this is the worst country like other people are saying, with all this bullshit going on and this and that and so on and so on and so on. I'm just saying that we take it for granted, the freedom that we have and the lives that we live. And like I said in my previous videos, I'm so blessed to have been born a white male in America. America. So I am so fortunate. And anybody that's listening to this video, if you're from America or you live in America, whatever the case is, man, you're blessed. You are truly blessed. So anyway, so how dare that reporter try to quote the words from the Statue of Liberty's poems, because that was a completely different time and era then. These people built America, the ones that came over. The ones that are coming over now, they're not building America. America's already built. And can they, if you're like my brother Jose that did it the right way and succeeded and didn't, go to jail for beating his wife or killing somebody or DUI, hit and run, or whatever the case, robbing somebody, whatever. He did it legally, man, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm telling you, man, it just shame on them for shame on that reporter. And you can go and I tried to look it up on YouTube. I couldn't really see it, but if you guys get a chance, if you do have HBO or Netflix or whatever, look up the Statue of Liberty's documentary movie. It's really good. It's very you learn something. Because I always thought that the French literally gave us, like, here you go, here's a big statue and it means freedom. And a lot of people don't know there's chain and a shackle at the base of Lady Liberty's, by her feet. There's a chain where she's basically stepping out of slavery or whatever the case is, and stepping into democracy and freedom. So it was very, very interesting, and I love history, man. But anyways, it was pretty cool, and I don't know, I was just wasting time going to the shop and figure I'd do a quick video on the Statue of Liberty. But look it up, man. Knowledge is definitely power, man. And I am not smart. If I can take my attention span and watch something like that, or read a book, or read this article, or listen to this, you can do it too, man, because I am not very smart. So, but I love to learn, and I love to know things. And not everything I said on the thing is exactly true. Watch it for yourself. But anyways, yeah, they give us your tired and your poor and your huddled masses to breathe free. That was then. This is now. Now it's like give us your like I said, I've already said my piece. But anyways, I'm just talking shit. But anyways, Mr. Clyde, my wife and I really hope this video finds you well, and be grateful that if you are living in America, be very grateful. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.